You know, in all this flurry of excitement with Sunbreak, the new Switch Skills, the new weapon attacks, and the all-round gloriousness we are seeing, I'm also seeing an alarming amount of...
Look how they massacred my boy.
And not all of it is unfounded, but it is very interesting, and it's definitely something I want to talk about. So, in the middle of this reveal excitement train, let's pause for a second. Alright, now let's actually discuss the topic at hand here. So, on the whole, everyone seems really, hype, thrilled, seeing the new moves of their favorite weapons. There's still a few yet to be revealed, but we've got the general gist now. We're getting a lot more options, we're getting a variety of playstyles, we're getting counters, more counters! Which isn't inherently a bad thing. Look, Longsword has pretty much always been, or at least for the longest time, one of the most popular, if not the most popular weapon. And it's not because of its power. It's very strong, but that's because counters is a drawn-to playstyle. People love them. And yes, while you might not be playing Longsword because you personally don't, having an option to bake in a counter to a different weapon actually really does enhance the fun. Look, listen, I obviously have been playing Frontier recently, and Greatsword in Frontier has a counter. It's an incredibly easy basic counter. It's you are about to be attacked, press a button, you counter it. You don't need to combo, you don't need to work into it, it's not like in the middle of your flow, it's just press button, counter. And that's not really Greatswordy, but it feels fantastic. To be able to counter and then go into a big hit and then do your charge combo, like, I can't lie that I've become somewhat of a believer. Though that said, the caveat is I do find the one in Frontier too simple, too longswordy, too not greatswordy. But if we take something like Strong Arm Stance, it's basically, I am big weapon man and I cannot be moved! Hit me in my big weapon, see what happens! You know, it's a very great sword kind of identity fantasy type counter. And even then, it's not strictly like get hit, do return attack. It's get hit, nothing happens, now I can choose what I want to do. It feels great swordy. And I do see a lot of comments saying the weapon identities are kind of slipping or blurring. And I think there's some fairness to that, but I also think there's a big point to be made that, well, we've barely seen any of the game. We've not even seen all the weapons. We have no idea how it's going to interact with the combat. There's a few main points I do want to address in the general sense, though. I've seen a lot of people comment that we look like we're getting way too strong, way too powerful, we're getting way too many options. Yes, counters being a big factor, but we're getting huge attacks and so much utility on top of already wire bugs. My god, this is going to be a pathetically easy Master Rank game. And to that I say, while I can see the logic on a base level, I think there's a big element of, hey, give Capcom some credit. They've been doing this for a long time now, and I don't think we've ever had an easy Master Rank or G-Rank game. We've had easier than others, but we have never had an easy one. You don't, as a dev, as an experienced veteran team of Monster Hunter producers, give this much player power in a Master Rank G-Rank game if the monsters are not going to match it. To me, seeing all these new options, these new skills, is terrifying. Having played every single monster in a game, it scares me to my core. Because there's no doubt in my mind we're going to need them. And I will reserve complete judgment till we actually get to play the game and find out for ourselves. But G-Rank, Master Rank, don't fuck around. And if we are getting this kind of amp, I really feel like we might actually be in for a ridiculously challenging experience. Like, they have seen people's comments on Rise. They know there is this kind of mentality of it was too easy. A lot of people share that. And Capcom, if anything, have proven to be so wonderful at listening to community feedback. They really care about it. They've made changes a lot of the time based on it, even just adding in little things like, hey, there's a setting to reduce the amount of effects on screen. So there is no doubt in my mind that someone over there hasn't gone, base was too easy, was it? And we're now all going to get thrashed 7 ways to Sunday. Look, it's impossible to say either way, but I would bet money on the new player power we're getting being more than needed to face whatever challenges we are getting in a historically challenging G-Rank Master Rank game. I really, really do think so. I honestly think it's going to end up being harder than Iceborne, although Iceborne was on the easier side of Master Rank games until we got to like the Elatrion and Fatalis level, where it finally got that proper, Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous. So, the next big one then that comes up a lot is, again, to touch on it, the changing in weapon identity. Like, hey, I don't want to use this weapon because it can counter. I don't want to use this weapon because it's fast. I want big slow. To use Greatsword again, because it lives deep in my heart, I've seen a lot of Greatsword mains be like, okay, the new fast combo looks cool and everything, but I play Greatsword to do big, slow charge, big hits. I don't want a kind of fast flurry combo. And I totally get that. That was my initial gut reaction. But there's a couple things within that. The first being that, yeah, okay, sure, but we've not used it yet. It might feel fantastic. Just the animations look incredible, and the animations and the weighting sell a lot when it comes to actually using a moveset. But the main one to take into consideration here is switch skills are a thing. Because of their existence, the devs can kind of go crazy, because if we really want to be stubborn, we just set all our switch kills to the air quotes true way the weapon is played, and then play it that way. Because we have this utility and dynamicness that switch skills bring, we can have, here's a setup to play this weapon in a completely different way from how it's ever been played before in every other Monster Hunter game, and here's the switch skills for if you want the true core experience that that weapon's known for, or mix and match. And that's actually really cool. Like, hey, yeah, I want a quick flurry combo on Greatsword, but I also want a big charge at the end. So I'm going to put on the new combo, and I'm going to put on true charge. Awesome. And that's kind of a really cool little option to actually give players. And I think it adds more than it takes away. They're not changing core moveset. They're just giving us a different way to actually go about killing a monster if we so want to, while still using your favorite weapon. Because I would argue a lot of people love the idea, the aesthetic of the weapon as much as they do the moveset. Like, I could totally see someone be like, God, I love hunting on. I just love playing the music. That's so much fun. I love a big, bashy stick with music. But man, I wish it was as fast as Dual Blades. I love quick slashing. So if they randomly gave hunting on a switch skill that was quick slash Dual Blade copy, a lot of people might be like, yes, that's what I want. Hunting on aesthetic with Dual Blade type moves. And that's obviously that's extreme, but you know what I'm saying. That's kind of what you can offer with switch skills, because it doesn't force anyone to do anything. You could argue that if the new option, the change of playstyle, is way more powerful, then you might feel compelled to use it because, you know, you want to use what's best. And that I totally agree with, and it's not really something we can speak of until we actually see how everything's balanced. But I do think because it's switch skills, we do get this pass to actually try different things. And bottom line, look, wait till we play it, right? Like, to me, everything just looks so much fun. So many new ways to play, so many styles and combinations, and there's so many build ideas, and I'm so excited to get stuck into it, and I just want to try things, and God, I think Sunbreak looks amazing. I really, really do. And I think it can do this because, I mean, yeah, it's well, not a mainline game, right? It's a portable, it's a Master Rank, I don't want to say spin-off because it's still a main game, but you know what I mean. It's not Monster Hunter 6. Like when we first saw that wire bugs were a thing on the announcement of Rise and stuff, that's a huge change. But by and large, I mean, we love it. It's a really fun playstyle, and it's going to feel very weird not having wire bugs. It might have made the game, again, air quotes, too easy, but the actual core concept of zipping around doing cool moves, that's amazing. Now, there is a talk and an argument to be made that over the years, over many Monster Hunters, weapons have kind of lost or at least changed focus. If you adored Longsword in the 2nd generation and, well, came and played a 5th generation game, yeah, that's pretty much just gone. You can't really play like that. I mean, you could force it, but it just wouldn't feel right and it would be very weak. So I could totally see someone being like, oh, I miss when Longsword wasn't just a parry counter machine. Those were the days. That's fair enough. But when it comes to between Rise and Sunbreak, if you liked your weapon in Rise, don't worry at all about what you're seeing in Sunbreak, because, again, the beauty of switch skills is it's entirely optional, assuming a good level of balance, which tends to always really happen. So that's kind of where my thoughts lie. There is so much here that is just genuinely exciting, fun. I'm glad they're trying it, and because they can try it, give us these crazy new moves, give different styles to different weapons, let us play around, let us have fun, and everyone can just choose how they want to experience it, and I'm all for that. I really, really am, and I would love to know what you guys think as well. On the whole, are you really excited by the changes you're seeing, or the new additions, I suppose? Because that's really the thing. They're not changes, they're new, they're on top of, and because of that, it kind of just is okay, and more than okay in my case, really fucking cool. But yeah, let me know what you think. Like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, consider supporting the future of this channel on Patreon down below, and until we meet again, goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.